Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because today we're taking a deep, emotional, and eye-opening journey into the life of a man who has given the world some of the most unforgettable performances in cinema history. A legend, an enigma, a force of nature, Al Pacino. But while his name echoes through Hollywood with power and prestige, the reality of his life today is far from the glitz and glamour of the silver screen. At 84 years old, the man who once embodied the ruthless ambition of Tony Montana and the chilling composure of Michael Corleone now walks a path filled with solitude, reflection, and battles only a few truly understand. This is the story of Al Pacino, his rise, his triumphs, his struggles, and the truth behind how he lives today. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you love these deep, unfiltered, and eye-opening stories, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what we have coming next. And trust me, there's always more to the story than what meets the eye. Our story begins on April 25, 1940, in East Harlem, New York. A little boy named Alfredo James Pacino was born to Sicilian immigrants, Rosa and Salvatore Pacino. But life wasn't kind. When Al was just 2 years old, his father packed his bags and left for California, leaving Rosa to raise him alone in the rough streets of the South Bronx. And if you know anything about the Bronx in the 40s and 50s, you'd know. It was no paradise. It was tough, ruthless, and filled with struggles. But even in that harsh world, young Al found something magical: the movies. His mother, despite their financial struggles, would take him to the cinema where he would escape into the world of storytelling. And little did he know, those flickering images on the screen would shape his entire destiny. But life wasn't just about movie dreams. By the age of 9, Al was already smoking. By 13, he was experimenting with marijuana. School? A disaster. He was expelled multiple times and eventually ended up at the High School of Performing Arts. But even that didn't last. At 17, after a heated argument with his mother about his future, he dropped out. No diploma, no clear path, just raw talent and an unshakable desire to act. But the streets don't wait for dreams. 3 of his closest friends, Cliffy, Bruce, and Pi, fell to drug overdoses. Al could have been next, but something inside him refused to let go. Acting wasn't just a passion, it was survival. Then came 1962, a year that shattered his world. His mother, Rosa, the woman who had carried him through life's struggles, passed away at just 43 years old. A year later, his grandfather, his anchor, was also gone. In just 12 months, Al lost the 2 most important people in his life. He spiraled into a darkness that could have consumed him. But instead of giving up, he channeled his grief into his craft. He took whatever jobs he could, janitor, busboy, messenger, just to afford acting classes. Nights were spent on friends' couches, sometimes even on theater seats when he had nowhere to go. But quitting? Never an option. Fast forward to 1968, and Al Pacino's name was about to shake the industry. His off-Broadway performance in The Indian Wants the Bronx was electrifying. He won the Obie Award for Best Actor, and more importantly, he caught the eye of a man who would change his life forever: Martin Bregman. This wasn't just another Hollywood agent. Bregman saw something raw and rare in Al. He took him under his wing and pushed him toward the role that would define an era: Michael Corleone in The Godfather. But let's get one thing straight. Al Pacino wasn't Hollywood's first choice. The studio wanted a big name, someone like Jack Nicholson or Robert Redford. But Francis Ford Coppola, he fought tooth and nail for Al. And the rest? History. The Godfather grossed over $250 million, won Best Picture at the Oscars, and turned Al Pacino into an icon. That scene in the restaurant, the cold, calculated execution, sent chills down spines. That wasn't acting. That was transformation. But success comes with a price. With fame came money, and with money came problems. In 2011, Al made a shocking discovery. His longtime accountant, Kenneth Starr, had been running a Ponzi scheme. The result? Al Pacino lost $50 million overnight. Imagine that. One of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, left on the brink of financial ruin. To keep himself afloat, he took on projects that he normally wouldn't, films like Jack and Jill. And yes, he later admitted, he did it for the paycheck, because even legends can fall, and sometimes they have to do what they can to survive. And then there's love. Al Pacino has shared his life with some of Hollywood's most beautiful and brilliant women. Diane Keaton, Beverly D'Angelo, Kathleen Quinlan, but despite these high-profile romances, he never married. In his 2024 memoir, Sonny Boy, he laid it out plain and simple. Marriage to him was nothing more than a ticket to pain. He called it an entrance to the pain train. But love, he still believed in that. Even at 83, he became a father again. His 29-year-old girlfriend, Noor Al-Falah, gave birth to their son, Roman. The world was stunned, and when reports surfaced that Al had requested a paternity test, the speculation ran wild. But when the results confirmed Roman was his, Al embraced. Fatherhood once again, proving that life never stops surprising us, even in our 80s. Now, at 84, Al Pacino is still standing, still acting, still telling stories. He was in House of Gucci in 2021, and he has more projects lined up, including Modi and The Ritual. He's even stepped behind the camera, directing films like Looking for Richard and Chinese Coffee. But despite his successes, the years have taken their toll. The man who once commanded the screen with an explosive presence now moves with the weight of time. And in 2020, the scariest moment of all, his heart stopped. Paramedics brought him back. But something inside him changed. He became convinced there is no afterlife, a belief he has since spoken about openly. So here we are, 84 years old, a lifetime of battles, a legacy that will never fade, but a life that, behind the curtain, is marked with loneliness, regret, and the relentless search for meaning. And now I ask you, what do you think? Is Al Pacino's life a tragedy or a triumph? Let's talk in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because this is just one story. And trust me, there's always more to uncover. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and remember, life, just like Al Pacino's performances, is all about the layers beneath the surface.